Very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. In the previous session, we discussed few questions on process and join by product. And I hope you guys were able to solve the questions of process and join by product. So today we are starting with again a very important chapter from examination point of view, that is service costing. I have uploaded few questions over the portal. I request you guys to please download the question set. I'll be discussing few questions from RTP. When talking about this service costing, it's a method of costing used by those companies who are basically providing services. So to calculate the cost per unit of service, they prepare service cost sheet. So the concept is very simple, wherein simply you have to calculate the total cost divided by units. Units may deviate from industry to industry. So in the regular batch, I have discussed the questions on transportation industry, hotel industry, hospitals, plus toll roads, information technology based industries, and few more. So the concept is very simple in service costing, wherein very simple, guys, you have to calculate the total cost divided by units, and we will get the cost per unit. So in the hotel industry, it can be units, can be the number of rooms, the number of days, or number of guests, or it can be number of room days. That is the number of days the rooms are occupied. In transportation industry also, it can be the cost per ton, or we can say the cost per mile or the cost per passengers. And alternatively, if we are using composite unit, it can be cost per ton kilometer, cost per passenger kilometer. In hospital, it can be cost per patient, cost per bed, or it cost per patient bed. It means the number of beds that are occupied by the patients. So these were the few concepts what I have discussed in the previous session. These were the few concepts which I have discussed in my regular batch. So I'll be discussing few more questions in today's session. I request you, I'll be taking few questions from RTP and past practice manual. So very important, guys, I request you guys to download the material what I have provided over the portal. So there are a few queries. Good morning, Manivanan. So there is a query from Tejaswini Marwa. Sir, I have doubt in absolute and commercial ton kilometer. So can you please explain? So I'll be taking a question. Okay, so I'll be starting with your question only. Thereafter, I'll be discussing few questions. In the meanwhile, I request you please download the material what I have provided. Everyone, I request you to open your study material also, because I have received a query from one of the student and she's facing problem in absolute and commercial ton kilometer. Let me open the study material also. Anurag, please recheck. Anurag, please recheck. The questions are available. In the meanwhile, let's take illustration number 1 from study material. Tejaswini, please refer study material. Illustration number 1, page number 12.8. So, when talking about absolute and commercial ton kilometer, this concept comes into picture in transportation industry. And specifically, it's basically composite unit. So illustration number 1 from study material I'm discussing. So a lorry starts with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. A lorry starts with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. It unload 8 metric tons in station B and balance goods in station C. On return trip, it reaches station A with a load of 16 metric tons loaded at station C. The distance between A to B, B to C, and C to A, it is 80, 120, and 160 kilometers respectively. Compute absolute metric ton kilometer and commercial metric ton kilometer. So see, when you find these types of question, I have discussed this in the regular batch also. When you find these types of question, try to convert the question in diagrammatic way, wherein see a lorry starting from station A. A lorry starting from station A, it is going to station B, and from station B, it is going to station C. And from station C, it is coming directly to station A. This is what the route of lorry is, that from A, it is going to B, from B, it is going to C, and from C, it is coming back to A. Now, how many goods were loaded at station A? It is 20 metric tons. So, A was carrying 20 metric tons to B, and at B station, 8 metric tons were unloaded. So, out of 28 metric tons were unloaded, so balance 12 metric tons were transported from B to C. I repeat again, the truck started with the load of 20 metric tons, of which 8 metric tons were unloaded at station B. So it means only 12 metric tons were transported from B to C. Now in the return journey, they are saying it reaches station A with a load of 16 metric tons loaded at station C. So from C to A, they are going with 16 metric tons. When talking about the distance between A to B, B to C, and C to A, it is 80, 120, and 160 kilometers. So 80 kilometers from A to B, 120 kilometers from B to C, and 160 kilometers from C to. So we have prepared the question in diagrammatic way. Now we have to calculate metric ton kilometer. So there are two approaches that are possible. That is absolute and commercial. When talking about absolute, it uses weighted average approach. And when talking about commercial, it uses simple average approach. When talking about, it uses weighted average approach, and when talking about commercial, it uses simple average approach. So very simple, 20 metric tons for 80 kilometers. Then 12 metric tons for 120 kilometers. And from C to A, it is 16 metric tons for 160 kilometers. So we will get the weighted average ton kilometers. $5,600 ton kilometer. So this is what we call it as absolute ton kilometer, or we can say the weighted average approach. When talking about the commercial, that is the simple average approach, very simple guys. We'll use the simple average wherein the distance traveled total divided by average metric ton. So total distance traveled is how much? 80 plus 120 plus 160, it is 360 kilometers, multiplied by average metric tons, that is 20 plus 12 plus 16. So this is the difference between absolute and commercial. Very important, guys. If the question is silent, this approach is to be followed. This approach is to be followed only when clearly instructed in question. So if you guys have any doubts, you guys can please post your queries. Let me check, Anurag. Tejaswini, hopefully your query is resolved. Tejaswin, sorry. Mr. Tejaswin Marwa, hopefully your query is resolved. I mean, I'm not getting what you're saying, Mr. Tejaswin. When you find such type of problem, try to convert the problem in diagrammatic form. I assure you, you'll be able to solve any question. Have you attended my regular batches, Tejaswin? Okay, so I think I have discussed variety of questions wherein you will find various, I mean, this type of question wherein you have to prepare diagrams and all, and I have given many questions in the live session. I hope you were able to solve it. Okay. So wherever you find these types of question, try to convert the question in diagrammatic form. I assure you, you will be able to solve any question. Edwin sir, can you please check the PPT is there over the portal? Manish sir? Yes, it is available now. Ajit sir is there. Can you please? Yes. Anyone else having any doubts in service costing? Because since these are not the regular batches, these are basically the revisionary batches only. So anyone having any doubts or queries in service costing? Yes, Anurag, Yamin, Miss Yamin, Mr. Manivan, Gulika, anyone having any doubts? No, any other doubts? This is one of the concept I have discussed wherein Tejaswin was facing the query. So in any other part of the chapter you want me to discuss any part of the chapter, else I'll be taking few questions from RTP. Any part of the chapter, any conceptual queries, if you have, you guys can please post your queries. See, this is not the regular batch, Gulika. Again, I know this concept you are thorough with, but any other doubts? See, again, these are not the regular batches, these are the revisionary classes. So any doubts in this chapter, you guys can please post your query. Okay. So let's take one problem on hotel industry also, wherein how to calculate the room days. I request you guys to read the question and try to solve it. As mentioned by few students, that let's put up few questions in front of you. So, and one of the students raised a query on hotel industry. So a hotel is located on a hill station with a capacity of 200 rooms. The single bedrooms are 120 and double beds are 200. Now, when talking about occupancy during season, that is 6 months, it is 80%. And off season, that is the remaining 6 months, it is 40%. Let's keep one category of room only. So the occupancy during the season, it is 80%, and during the off season, it is 40%. Total cost of operating the hotel is 12,80,000 per annum. The total cost of operating the hotel is 12,80,000 per annum. One second. Hotel expects a profit of 20% on room rent. Further, taxes are 18% of room rent. So a hotel is located on a hill station with a capacity of 200 rooms. Total cost of operating the hotel is 12,80,000 per annum. Hotel expects a profit of 20% on room rent. Further, taxes are 18% of the room rent. Rent during the season is double of off season. Calculate room rent to be charged during season and off season. So the question is ready. I request you guys to please solve the question all 360 days. Number of days in a year, take 360. So this is the question for you. I request you guys to please post your answers. Waiting for your answers, everyone. So a hotel is located on a hill station with a capacity of 200 rooms. Total cost of operating the hotel is 12,80,000 per annum. Hotel expects a profit of 20% on room rent. For the taxes are 18% of the room rent. Occupancy during the season it is 80% and during the off season it is 40%. Rent during the season is double of off season rent. Calculate the room rent to be charged during season and off season. Number of days in a year, take 360. I want every one of you to post your answers. Waiting for your answers. Waiting for your answers. Mr. Manivan, Anurag, Tejaswin. Last 2 minutes. So I've received answer from Tejaswin Marwa. Anyone else ready with the answer? Anyone else? Okay. So fine, let's check the revenue. First of all, let's calculate the revenue. Here the total cost is given. That is 12,80,000. In this, we need to add profit and taxes. Then only we will get the revenue. So here, let's assume the revenue is 100. So the taxes are 18% of the total revenue or room rent. Profit is 20%. So this will, we are left out with how much total cost? Total cost will be 62%. So 12,80,000 is equals to 62%. So how much will be 100%? So 12,80,000 is equals to 62. So how much will be 100? Very good. So this is what my expected revenue. Now we will calculate the room days during season and off season. So when talking about season, the total number of rooms are 200. The total number of rooms are 200. Occupancy is 80%. It means 160 rooms are occupied on an average in a day, into 30 days in a month, into 6 months in a year. Similarly, in off season also there are total 200 rooms, occupancy is only 40%. So it means what, 80 rooms are occupied in a day on an average, into 30 days in a month, into 6 months in a year. So this will be 28,800. And this will be 14,400. So total number of room days are 43,200. Now let the room rent during the season is X. Therefore, in off season, it will be how much? 0.5x. If the rent during the season is X, so during the off season, let me check. I have received few more answers. Very good, Anurag. So let the room rent during the season is X. So therefore, in off season, it will be how much? 0.5x. That is half of the season rent. So the number of rooms in the season is how much? 28,800 into X plus 14,400. That is the number of rooms into 0.5x. This should be equal to how much? The total revenue, that is 20,64,516. So we can easily calculate the value of X. So this will be 57.34. 57.35. That is during the season. And in off season, it will be half of this rent. So this will be 28.67. So this is how the room rent is calculated in case of hotel industry, wherein two elements are required. The first point is the number of room days. This is very important. So in transportation industry, the way we calculate the passenger kilometer, ton mile. So in hotel industry, we do calculate the room days. So first we have to calculate the room days. Thereafter, to calculate the room rent, we need the total revenue. So we will calculate the total revenue and accordingly we will fix up the room rent. I hope this part is clear to all. Anyone having any doubts? Very good, Anurag. If you guys have any doubts in hotel industry, you guys can please post. I've discussed one question on hospitals, I've discussed one question on transportation industry, one on hotel industry. So these are the basic questions. And generally student faces a problem in that part, this part only. Rest, so it's simply the calculation of total cost. I request you guys to please copy the question and the solution. Anyone else? If you guys want me to discuss anything else, you guys can please post your queries. Mr. Manivanan, I hope this part is clear to you. You mentioned that you want me to discuss the problem on hotel industry. So I hope this part is clear. Mr. Tejaswin, any doubts? Gulika, any doubts? Yes, you can ask, please. Admin sir, if possible, please unmute Tejaswin. Admin sir, please unmute Tejaswin. Manish sir. Yes, Mr. Tejaswin, tell me.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, it is a past examination question. Sir, in that only one part I am having a doubt. Sir, that part belongs to that the company has a policy that the vehicles return within 24 hours of their outward journey. The toll fare is reduced by 25% automatically. It is estimated that 30% of chargeable lightweight vehicles return within the specified time frame. Sir, in this part, they have given like different types of lightweight, heavyweight, and medium weight vehicles. And for the lightweight vehicles, they are saying that 25% is a less fare, like in outward journey. If we go by
What?
inward,
Please come back. Please come back. In
like sir, if we go, like say, I am going from Delhi to Punjab. So from Delhi to Punjab, the fare is 100%. But sir, when I am coming back within 24 hours from Punjab to Delhi, then the fare is like 75%.
got it.
So sir, they are like I am not able to calculate the outward numbers, like from Punjab to Delhi. What will be the vehicles? Sir, they like the numbers are like 50,000 lightweight vehicles are there, and 30% of them having a outward journey with a 25% reduced fare.
Okay, Tejaswin, what you do is just write a mail cma-inter@icai.in and
Okay, sir.
share me the question. I think if possible by tomorrow, I'll resolve your query because I don't have the question right now. So tomorrow I'll address your query. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Anything else you are facing problem into? I mean, any conceptual queries or anything like that?
No, sir. Rest service costing is clear for me, sir.
See, the point is, whenever you find these types of question, na,
Yes.
assume X. I mean, so this is the best way to solve the question. So it's like if I've not yet read the question, but it's like you have to calculate the equivalent number of vehicles. That's it.
Yes, sir. Like equivalent numbers, like we have calculated equivalent room days here. The same way they are
So this
calculating.
is just follow the same approach, and if possible, try to solve the question once again, wherein just try to break the question into parts. See, every question, it's very easy to solve every question if you try to break the question in parts and you try to present it in diagrammatic way. So this is the best approach in service costing. So try to solve it again with peace of mind. Still, if you are not being able to solve, just write a mail. If possible, I'll address your query tomorrow itself.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? Any conceptual queries? Are you guys prepared with service costing? Because this is not the regular batch. It's basically the revisionary batch. I'll be taking few questions from RTP. So before starting with that part, at least I want to discuss few questions. If whatever the queries you have, I just want to address all your queries. Generally, the trickiest part is basically the calculation of room days in the hotel industry. In transportation industry, the trickier part is basically calculation of ton kilometer, passenger kilometer. So this part is the key. let me discuss few questions from RTPs first. So I hope the material is available over the portal. I request you guys to download the material. I'm sharing the screen also for your reference. So this is from RTP September 2025. Those who want can take the screenshot also. This is the first page. The second page. And the third page. Those who are not able to download the material, this is the first page. I'm referring RTP September 2025. You can check it over the institute website also. The question is available. This is the second page. So let's start with question number 1, RTP September 2025. So due to frequent power cuts and inconsistent water supply from the electricity board, Anju Manufacturing Private Limited, a mid-sized engineering goods manufacturer based in Pune, decided to set up its own captive power generation plant. The plant is critical for ensuring uninterrupted production across its two major units. So there are frequent power failure in Pune, and their active production is interrupted. So they are planning to set up their own plant to generate electricity. They have given the details that they have two units, wherein unit 1 produces industrial machinery component and unit 2 manufactures agriculture equipment parts. So they are into this business. Now the factory operations are heavily depends on continuous electricity and water supply for running these machines, or that is CNC machine, foundry operations, welding units, and assembly lines. Any electricity failure lead to major production delay, idle labor costs, and penalties from the client due to late deliveries. After analyzing the risk of depending entirely on the electricity board, the company's board of directors approved a proposal to invest in a dedicated steam boiler and power generation plant within the factory premise. So this is about the history of the business. These are the basically the details of the company, wherein the company is into manufacture of mid-size engineering goods, and they want active electricity and water supply. I mean uninterrupted electricity and water supply. But these days they are facing lots of issues. So the company has planned to set up their own boiler house and power plant, wherein they can get uninterrupted electricity and power supply, electricity and water supply. So they are planning to set up their own steam boiler and power generation plant, and the details are given for the month, wherein the following information has been taken from the records in connection with the generation of power during the month. So to generate power, the coal used is 1800 tons at the rate 230 per ton. Freight and handling charges 7% of the value of coal used. Oil, it is 15 tons at the rate 4,500 per ton. Water, they require 80,000 liters of water in a month at the rate 0.07 per liter. Steam boiler cost 50 lakh with a residual value of 2 lakh after a life of 10 years. Salaries and wages of the boiler house are also given, wherein 15 skilled, 30 semi-skilled, and 50 unskilled workers are employed. Now they do recover some amount on sale of ashes also, that is 150 tons of ashes is produced in a month, and they do get 60 rupees per ton. Now salary and wages of the generating station. So there is one more point wherein there is one more generating station also, wherein 60 skilled, 20 semi-skilled, 30 unskilled workers are working, and their salary is given. Repairs and maintenance are given. Depreciation of generating equipment is given. Insurance premium of the generating plant is given. Fuel handling and storage expenses is given. Rent of generating station premise is also given. Share of administration charges are given. Now, the total number of units generated before loss, it is 2 lakh units of electricity is generated. The loss is also given, that out of 2 lakh, 3 lakh was basically the normal loss. Further, electricity purchased from grid to meet the emergency requirements. So they do procure electricity from the grid also, wherein total 5,000 units were purchased at the rate 6 per unit. Now 10% of the effective units, 10% of the effective units generated are used internally by the generator department itself. So out of the total electricity generated and procured, 10% basically is used by the generator itself. Now, additional information is given. The purchased electricity units are not subject to any loss adjustments. Okay. Further, emergency purchase units should be added to effective units available for use. So, effective units में आपको जो है basically the purchase electricity you have to add. You are required to calculate the cost of electricity generated and the cost of generating electricity per unit. So ultimately, we have to calculate the total cost of generating the electricity and the cost per unit of generating the electricity. So very important, guys. It's a very lengthy question. But when talking about the first 2 paragraphs, you'll find that this information has no use. It gives about the details and history of the business. I mean, what all business the company is doing. So it has nothing to do with the cost calculation. The cost calculation starts wherein they plans to invest some amount in power generation and boilers and all. So herein, for the cost calculation, the first 2 paragraphs are irrelevant. But yes, we need to read the question at least for practical understanding. So anyways, guys, can you please write in detail what is BOT, Gulika? So let's start with this question. Question number 1, RTP September 2025. I have discussed this question in one of my regular batches, so you can refer. Still, if the time permits, we'll try to. So we have to prepare the statement of cost. One second. So let's start with the questions. So herein, basically, a steam boiler and power generation plant. So let's start with the steam boiler part. So the first thing is basically coal used. It is 1800 tons at the rate 230 per ton. So this will be 4,14,000. Freight and handling charges are 7%. So 28,980. Oil, it is 15 tons at the rate 4,500 per ton. So this comes to 67,500. Water, it is 80,000 liter. So it comes to 5,600. Depreciation, we will take steam boiler cost, it is 50 lakh. The residual value is 2 lakh and the life is 10 years. And since we are calculating this, we are using the monthly data. So we have to calculate it in months also. So depreciation, fifty lakh minus 2 lakh divided by useful life is 10 years. So it is 40,000. Next is salaries and wages of the boiler house. Skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. So it is 15 into 1,300 per month. 30 at the rate 1,100 per month. And when talking about unskilled, it is 50 at the rate 900 per month. Further, some ashes are sold. Recovery on account of sale of ashes. It is 150 into 60. It is 9,000. So herein we will get the cost of boiler house. Now next is salaries and wages of generating station. So let's prepare the cost of generating station also. Your generating station cost. Wherein salaries again skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled workers are there. That is 60, 20 and 30. And the rate is given 1200, 1000 and 850. So 60 into 1200, it is 72,000. Twenty thousand and this is 25,500. We are done with the salary now. Additional cost also is given. Repairs and maintenance, it is given. So I'm writing all the costs together. So repairs and maintenance, 30,000, depreciation, 75,000. You have to write it separately in exams. So 30,000, 75,000, 15,000, 8,000, 12,000 and 65,000. So other cost, but you guys have to write it separately to save time. I'm writing it directly. 2,05,000. You have to write separately in the examination hall. So herein we can calculate the total cost now. 4,14,000, 28,980, 67,500, 5,600, 40,000, 19,500, 33,000, 45,000 minus 9,000. So 644,580. And when talking about this cost, it is 72,000, 20,000, 25,500, and 2,05,000. That is 322,500. So my total cost will be 967080. Anyone having any doubts till now, you guys can please post your queries. Okay, one more cost is there, electricity purchase from grid to meet the emergency requirement, that is 5,000 units at the rate 6. Five thousand units we have purchased at the rate 6. So it comes to 30,000. So my total cost will be how much now? We'll add 997,080. So let's assume it as A, this is B, and this is C. So A plus B plus C. That is 997,080. So when talking about the total cost of generating the electricity, it will be 997,080. Now the question is also asking us to calculate the cost of generating electricity per units. So we have to calculate the effective units. This part is the key. In fact, in power generation questions, generally the calculation of effective units is very important. So herein what we can see is that the total number of units generated before loss, it is 2 lakh. Total units generated is 2 lakh. Of this, normal loss is 3,000 units. So we are left out with 197 units. See, again in this question, see, it is given that the purchase electricity units are not subject to any loss adjustment. So after adjusting the loss only of 3,000, we will be adding the purchased units. So we will add purchased units. How many units we have purchased? 5,000 units. Further, one more point, the last line of the question, emergency purchase units should be added to the effective units available for use. So the units that are available for use, units available for use. Total 202,000 units are available for use, of which 10% are used by the generator department. So minus 10% by generator. So 20,200. So it is 181,800. So my units calculated will be, units available will be 181,800. So cost per unit will be how much? 5.48. So herein what we can see is that the concept is simple. The same concept what we can follow in all the industry. That is very simple. That prepare the statement of cost divided by units. But generally in this chapter, the calculation of units is basically on the trickier side, wherein in this question also the calculation of unit was the key. In fact, in hotel industry also the calculation of room days are the units, so the calculation of room days is the key. In transportation industry also calculation of passenger kilometer or ton kilometer is the key. So in this chapter the calculation of units is the key. If you are able to calculate the units correctly, you will be able to solve the question. If you guys have any doubts in this question, you guys can please post your queries. Very good, Anurag. Giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to copy the solution. I request you guys to copy the solution. In the meanwhile, whatever the doubts you have, you guys can please post your queries. Anyone having conceptual queries also, you guys can please post your query. The answer will not change, Anurag. The answer will be the same because again, the loss is not given in percentage form. If the loss is given in percentage form, yes, we'll calculate the normal loss on the total units generated plus 5,000. So 2 lakh 5,000, we have to calculate the loss in percent. If the loss is given in percentage form. Tejaswin, any doubts? Gulika? Manivan, any doubts? Let's discuss one more question from the past practice manual. One second. So let's discuss one more question from the past practice manual. I'm sharing the screen for your reference. Question number 4 from my material. Similar question is there in the past practice manual also. I request you guys to take the screenshot. Question number 4. Those who are not able to download it from the portal, I request you guys to please take the screenshot of the question number 4. So this is the first page. And this is the second part. I request you guys to take the screenshot. Those who are watching over YouTube and have not downloaded, have not downloaded the material from the portal, you guys can take the screenshot for your reference. So let's start with this question. So a club runs a library for its members. So there is a club which run library for its member. The management of the club has provided the following figures. The management of the club has provided the following figures for its library department. So number of club member, overall the club has a member of 5, the number of club members are 5,000. However, when talking about the number of library members, it is 1,000. The library fee per member per month, it is 100 rupees. So per member, they do charge 100 rupees as a library fees per month. So for the year, it is 1,200. Fine for late return of books, it is rupees 1 per book per day. So they do charge a fine for late return of book, that is fine for late return of book, 1 per book per day. Average number of books returned late per month, it is 500. Further, the average number of days each book is returned, it is 5 days. Number of available old books is 50,000 books. The cost of new book, it is 300 per book. Number of books purchased per year, it is 1,200 books they have purchased per year. The cost of maintenance per old book per year, it is rupees 10. Further, the staff details are also given, wherein the librarian, total one librarian with a salary of 10,000 per month. Assistant librarian, there are total 3 assistant librarian and their salary is 7,000 per month. There is one clerk also whose salary is 4,000 per month. You are required to calculate the cost of maintaining the library per year, excluding the cost of new books. The cost, second point, the cost incurred per member per month on library. So the cost incurred per member per month on the library, excluding the cost of new books. Third point, the net income from the library per year. Further, it is given that if the club follows a policy that all new books must be purchased out of library revenue, what is the maximum number of books that can be purchased per year? Further, how many excess books are purchased by the library per year? So I request you guys to read this question once again. I'll be discussing this question. The question is not from the study material, but from an old practice manual. So let's start with this question. So let's start with the first part, the calculation of cost of maintaining the library per year, excluding the cost of new books. So let's prepare the statement of cost. So what all costs are incurred? So see, the first one is the librarian salary, that is 10,000 per month. Again, we have to prepare the yearly statement because the question is asking us to prepare that the cost of maintaining the library per year, excluding the cost of new books. So let's start with the salary details. Wherein librarian salary, it is 10,000 per employee salary per month. So 10,000 into 12, 1,20,000. Assistant librarian, it is 7,000 per month. 3 employees are there. $7,000 into 3 into 12. It is 2,52,000. Clerk, it is 4,000. $48,000. Apart from this, there are additional costs also. So let's check. So the cost of maintenance per old book per year. It is rupees 10. And the total number of old books are 50,000. I think I have taken all the costs. So let me check one more time. So I think I have considered all the costs. So this is basically the cost of operating the library, excluding the cost of new books. So 120 plus 2,52,000 plus 48,000 plus 5 lakh. So it comes to 9,20,000. So this is the answer for part number 1. That is basically the cost of operating the library, excluding the cost of new books. Further, now next part they are asking that the cost incurred per month per member on the library, excluding the cost of new book. So we have to calculate the cost per unit, that is cost per member per month. So we can calculate the cost per month also. That is 9,20,000 divided by 12. So it comes to 76,667. And when talking about the number of members, it is given that there are total 1,000 library members. The total number of library members are 1,000. So divided by number of members, it is 1,000. So cost per member per month. So it will be 76.667. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your queries. Very good, Anurag. The answer is correct. Very good, Anurag. Now let's proceed with the next part. The net income from the library per year. So let's calculate the net income. So statement of profit, wherein we'll first calculate the revenue. We have the total cost excluding the cost of new books. So we will first calculate the revenue. So when talking about the calculation of revenue, see, library fees per member per month, it is 100 rupees. 100 rupees per month per member into total 1000 member. So it comes to rupees 12 lakh. Library fees is done. Now next is late fees. Now when talking about late fees, it is given that the fine for late return of book is 1 rupees per book per day. The average number of books returned late per month, total 500 books. So 500 into 12. So in a year, total 6,000 books were returned late. And 5 days fine into 1, it comes to 30,000. I repeat again, total there are the fine for late return of book is 1 book per day, and the average number of days each book is returned late, it is 5 days, and the average number of books returned late per month, it is 500. So total 500 books were returned late into 12 in a month into 12 months, and the late fees is how much? 1 rupees per day, and on an average the delay is of 5 days. So revenue, it is 12,30,000, and we have the cost. We have the cost as calculated. The cost as calculated is 9,20,000. So profit, how much the profit library is making? The profit, the amount of profit that what the library is earning is 3,10,000. This is the net income of the library every year. I have not taken the cost of new books. Basically, it's an asset and investment, not an expense. So I have not considered the cost of new books. Anyways, so the net income from the library per year. So net income of library per year. So this is what the net income of library is for the year. Now, next is if the club follows a policy that all new books must be purchased out of library revenue. So if the club follows this policy wherein all the new books should be purchased from the profit only, then what is the maximum number of books that can be purchased per year? So the question is saying that अगर club जो है सिर्फ जो profit आता है उससे new books खरीदे, तो how many books can be purchased in a year? So see, the cost of new books is given in the question, that is rupees 300 per book. Maximum number of new books Max to max, how many books can be purchased? 3,10,000 divided by the cost of a book is how much? Rupees 300 per book. So at the most, how many books can be purchased in a year? 1033.33. So in short, 1033 books can be purchased in a year. So at the most, 1033 books can be purchased in a year. Now the next point is how many excess books are being purchased by the library per year. Now see here in this question it is given number of books purchased per year. एक साल में कितनी books खरीदते हैं? 1200. So how many extra books? Number of books purchased every year. On an average, 1200 books they do purchase. So excess books purchased is how much? 167 books. Very good, Gulika. Your answers are correct. Manivan, very good. Your answers are correct. I was expecting answer from you while when I was solving that hotel industry based question. But anyways, I appreciate that you guys have posted the answer. Again, everyone, those who have joined over Zoom, try to participate as much as possible because again, the coming two chapters. See, I have discussed variety of question in the regular batch also. So if you guys are like more interactive, I'll be putting up more question in front of you. So the more you will solve, the better you will be with the concepts. So try to post the answers of the questions what I'm posting in the session. It will be helpful for you guys only. Anyways, we are done with this question again. So we can say it's basically जैसे आपने transportation industry पढ़ा, hotels, hospitals, toll roads. So basically, this is the costing of libraries. This is how the library functions. I request you guys to please copy the solution again. This is not from the RTPs or MTPs. I have taken this question from past practice manual, and I have edited some part of the question because the question then practice manual I was finding it's something different. The solution is different from what I was expecting. So I have edited the question and I have just I have posted the question and this is the answer for the same. So please copy the solution, and if you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. Giving you 2 minutes time to copy So, guys, this is all what about the cost of, or basically, how the library operates and all. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back with one more question on transportation industry. It's a very good question. And again, the question is from past RTP. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with one more question on transportation industry. Edwin sir, Manish sir, break. Welcome back, my friends. So let's discuss one more question from RTP. It is from RTP May 2022. Question number 3. I'm sharing the screen for your reference. Those who are not being able to download, I request you guys to please take the screenshot. So this is the first page of the question. This is the second page of the question. And this is the what we have to calculate. So first page. So let's start with this question. RTP May 2022. So Navya LMV Private Limited operates cab and rental services in Delhi NCR. It provides its services to the office of Noida, Gurugram and Faridabad. At present, it operates CNG fueled car, but it is also considering to upgrade these into electronic vehicles. The details related with the owing of CNG and EV propelled cars are established below, wherein the purchase price is given, government subsidy on purchase of car is given, the life of car is given, residual value is given, mileage is given, electricity consumption per full charge is given. For CNG car, CNG cost per kg is given, power cost per kilowatt is given for electronic vehicles, annual maintenance, insurance cost is given, tire replacement cost in every 5 years. So it means in every 5 years, we have to replace the tires, and battery need to be replaced in every 8 years, and the cost is given. Apart from the above, the following are the additional information, that is average distance covered by a car in a month. It is 1500 kilometers. Driver salary is also given, that is 20,000 per month. Garage rent per car is also given, that is 4,500 per month. Share of office and administration cost per car is also given. So you are required to calculate the operating cost of the vehicle per month per car for both CNG and EV options. So we are required to prepare the statement of cost for the month for both CNG car and EV car. So let's start with question number 3. As in transportation industry, we have to classify the cost in 3 parts, that is fixed or standing cost, variable cost or running cost, and maintenance cost. So when talking about the car purchase price, it is associated with the depreciation of car. So let's start with the calculation of depreciation first of all. It's a very good question. An examiner can ask these types of questions. So 9,20,000 is the cost of the car. One second, guys. So for CNG and for EV, we will show the calculation separately. So 9,20,000 is the cost of vehicle minus the scrap value is 95,000. Useful life is 15 years into 1 by 12. Similarly, for EV cars, see, they are getting a subsidy of 1,50,000. So 15 lakh 20,000 minus 150. The cost of the car will be 13 lakh 70,000. Minus 1,70,000 is the scrap value, divided by useful life is 10 years into 1 by 12. So 9,20,000 minus 95,000 divided by my useful life is 15 years divided by 12. We'll get the depreciation, that is 4,583. Similarly, 13,70,000 minus 13,50,000, sorry. 1,520 minus 170. So 13,50,000. So the depreciation is 10,000. So we are done with the calculation of depreciation. Now let's start with annual maintenance cost. It will go under repairs and maintenance or maintenance cost. Annual insurance cost is 7,600 and 14,600. So insurance cost is 7,600 divided by 12. So it is 633.33. It is 1216.67. Higher replacement, battery replacement will go under running cost. Thereafter, the mileage and fuel and all will go under running cost. Now, next is driver salary. It is 20,000 per month. Garage rent per car, it is 4,500 per month. share of office and administration cost per car, it is 15,000 per month. I think we are done with all the fixed cost. So now we need to calculate, one second. So now we need to calculate the few points. That is, first one is the basically the fuel cost, thereafter the tire cost and the battery replacement cost. So for this, we need to first calculate the distance traveled total. When talking about the distance traveled, it is given 1500 kilometers per month. So let's start with the calculation of, first of all, the fuel and the electricity cost. 1 second, guys. So let's start with the calculation of fuel cost for CNG car and electronic vehicle separately. When talking about CNG, it is given that the mileage is 20 kilometer per kg. So total 1500 kilometers they are traveling in a month, divided by 20 kilometer per kg into the rate of CNG is rupees 60. Sorry. So it comes to 4,500. You can mention refer working note number 1. Power cost, you can mention working note number 2. So when talking about the power cost, see, the mileage is 240 kilometers per charge for EV, and the electricity consumption per full charge, it is 30 kilowatt, and the rate of power, it is rupees 7 rupees 60 paisa per kilowatt. So very simple, guys. When talking about EV, again the distance traveled is 1500 kilometers, and in one full charge they runs for 240 kilometer per charge. So divided by 240 kilometers per charge. And every time they do charge in full, total 30 kilowatts of electricity is consumed. And the rate of electricity is how much? 7 rupees 60 paisa. So total 1500 kilometers they are traveling. So 240 kilometers for every time they are fully charged. So 6.25 times they have to charge. And every time they do charge, 30 kilowatt of electricity is consumed. So into 30. So total 187.5 kilowatt of electricity is consumed into the rate that is 7 rupees 60 paisa. So it comes to 1425. So we are done with the running cost. Now see, there are two options available. Either to put tire replacement and battery replacement in maintenance cost, or we can put it up in running cost also. So both the approaches are correct. It's up to you. You can write a footnote. So better herein we will be putting up it in the maintenance cost only. So let's start first with the tire cost. Now this part is on the trickier side. See, the tire replacement cost is in every 5 years, it is 16,000 rupees. How much is the tire replacement cost? The tire replacement cost is how much? 16,000 in every 5 years. When talking about the useful life of the car, when talking about the useful life of the car, see, the life of car is 15 years and 10 years. So number of replacement required. How many times the tires are to be replaced? See, when we purchase a car, we get the tires with the car. So after 5 years, we need to replace. Thereafter, again after 5 years, we need to replace. And at the end of the 15th year, we will sell the car. So in short, the useful life is 15 years. The useful life is 15 years. So how many times the tire need to be replaced? Only 2 times. See, generally people will say 15 divided by 5 3 times. No, the replacement is to be done 2 times only, because एक बार तो टायर जो है वो कार के साथ ही आता है. So after 5 years we will replace the tires. Then again in the 10th year we will replace the tire, and then in 15th year we no need to replace. We will scrap the car. So how many times the replacement is required? Here in 2 times and here in 1 time. So cost of replacement is how much? Total 16,000 into 2, 32,000 in 15 years. And herein the cost of replacement is how much, since the useful life is of 10 years only. So the cost of replacement is 16,000 in how many years? In 15 years and in 10 years. In 10 years, my total cost will be 16,000, and in 15 years, my total cost will be 32,000. So we can calculate the cost per month. 32,000 divided by 15 divided by 12. So it comes to 177.78. If you guys have any doubts in this part was the trickier part. So 177.78. Similarly, 16,000 in 10 years divided by 12. So it comes to 133.33. And even having any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. This part is a bit on the trickier side. Very good. Very good, Gulika. So this part was the key, very important. The tire cost is 16,000 in every 5 years. The useful life is 15 years and 10 years. So how many times the tire need to be replaced? See, when we purchase the car, in the 5th year, we will replace the tire. In case of CNG, I'm talking about, in the 10th year, we will replace the tire. And in 15th year, no need to replace, we'll be scrapping out the car. So it means how many times the tire need to be replaced? 2 times. Similarly, again, when we purchase the car, we get the fresh tire. In 5th year, we will replace the tire. And after once the 5th year gets, 10th year gets over, we will scrap the car. So how many times the tire need to be replaced? Only one time. So 16,000 into 2, 32,000, 16,000 into 1, 16,000. Useful life is 15 years, useful life is 10 years. So very simple herein, 32,000 divided by 15 into 1 by 12. Similarly here, 16,000 divided by 10 into 1 by 12. I hope this part is clear to all. Those who want to copy this calculation can please copy, because I need to check the battery. I need to discuss the battery part also. Those who want to copy this part can please copy. Giving you 2 minutes time. So the same process we will follow in the calculation of the battery also. We can make it as battery as working note number 4. Now see, when talking about the cost of battery, it is 12,000 and 5,40,000. $12,000 and 5,40,000. Replaced after every 8 years. After 8 years. 8 years. Useful life is also we have, that is 15 years and 10 years. So can you guys tell me how many times the battery need to be replaced? How many times the battery need to be replaced? Waiting for your answers. Waiting for your answer. Very good, Gulika. Your answer is correct. Manivanan, very good. So only one time, because see, after 8 years, again we will replace the battery, then the car will be scrapped. And similarly, again, the car will be scrapped. So cost of replacement will be how much? Here in 12,000 and here in 5,40,000. Useful life we have. So per month cost will be how much? 12,000 divided by 15 divided by 12. So 12,000 is the overall cost divided by 15 years divided by 12. So per month cost comes to 66 rupees 67 paise. Herein also 5,40,000 is the cost divided by useful life. It is 10 years divided by 12 months. So it comes to 4,500. So we'll place the point 66.67. The last point is still left out, that is the repair cost. So 1 second. The annual maintenance cost is 8,000 and 5,200. Eight thousand and 5,200. So 8,000 divided by 12. It comes to 666.67. And 5,200 divided by 12, 433.3. So we have the fixed cost, we have the variable cost, and we have the maintenance cost. I think I have considered all the costs. Let me check once again. So car price is considered, government subsidy is considered, life of car is considered, residual value, mileage, electricity, CNG, power cost is considered, maintenance cost I have considered, insurance, tire replacement, battery replacement, driver salary, garage rent, share of office and admin. So everything is done now. So the last part, that is the calculation of total cost. So this is the way you guys have to solve the question. Very good, Bulika. Your answers are correct. Very good, Anurag. Your answers are correct. So this is the way you guys have to solve the question. The question is a very good question, and in fact, it's a new variety of question wherein these 2 points are the key. So generally, these are the mistakes what generally the students do in exam. So here, the key is read the question carefully. Half of the work is done when you read the question carefully. So once you are done with reading the question, you can solve, you can prepare the extracts of the question, and then you can write the solution. Anyways, guys, 1 second. Let me check if there are any queries. I request you guys to please copy. Very good. Manivanan, your answer is correct. I request you guys, those who want to copy, you guys can please copy, giving you 2 to 3 minutes time. So this is all what about this question. If you guys have any doubts in service costing, you guys can please post your queries because I'm done with all the questions. When talking about the key part of this chapter, very important, the concept is very clear and very simple, wherein you have to calculate the total cost divided by units. Units may vary from industry to industry. Herein, in this chapter, the calculation of units is the key. How to calculate room days, how to calculate patient beds, how to calculate the electricity generated, how to calculate passenger kilometer, ton kilometer. So herein in this chapter, the key is what? The calculation of units. So stick to the basics, stick to the concepts, prepare the statement. For every step you will be getting marks. So कुछ भी दिमाग में चल रहा है, just don't keep it in mind. Write in your answer sheet that okay, this is what I have thought and this is what the calculation I have done. Prepare the working notes. Working notes are the key. Again, in some question you will see that the final answer is hardly of 1 or 2 marks in a 10 marks question. The major marks that are allocated is for the working notes. So do prepare all the workings while writing the solution. कुछ भी दिमाग में मत रखिए. Whatever the calculation you are doing, make it as a part of your working note. So for every step you will be getting marks. So this is the key. I mean, to get good marks in costing paper. One more thing, guys, very important. Try to solve as many as possible questions in writing. There are variety of questions available over the institute website and portals, wherein you can find past few years RTPs, MTPs, plus past examination question. If you are able, if you just try to solve all these questions only, that is more than sufficient. Past 5 attempts examination question, MTPs, past 5 years, not in fact past 5 attempts, past 5 years MTPs, RTPs, and examination question. That much is more than sufficient. Yes, study material questions are important, but yes, after solving the study material, refer these questions. And again, don't simply refer. Write your own solution. Try to solve as many as possible question in writing. I assure you, no one can stop you from scoring 75% plus marks in costing. So that is the key. Because see, when you write the solution, again, your concepts are better, and apart from this, you will develop the speed to write the solution. Because in many times क्या होता है costing में कि people are not being able to complete their paper on time. So because of lack of speed, so when you write your own solution in exams, I mean, you can speedily solve the questions and you can complete the paper on time. So that is the key. So there is no alternate of hard work. Try to solve as many as possible questions in writing. Focus on the concepts and stick to the concepts. I mean, you'll easily get cleared in cost accounting. So anything else I can do for you guys? Anything else? I mean, any queries, any doubts? In service costing, we are done with service costing. I'll be taking 2 more revisionary session on marginal and standard. So if you guys have any doubts in service costing, you guys can please post. Waiting for your queries. Still, if you have any queries, you guys can write a mail to cma-inter@icai.in addressing my name. I'll be attending all your queries personally. Yes, Gulika, do check. I have discussed this question in detail. It's a very easy question. Again, the same concept wherein you have to calculate the total cost of that is the cost of the persons who are working in various shifts, the toll collection manager and all. So you have to calculate the total cost. Then apart from this, again, there is one more point regarding the amortization of the cost. So again, the total cost divided by the vehicles and the number of years they are operating, you will get the toll cost per vehicle. So that is the key. Anyways, you can check my regular sessions. Still, if you have doubt, you can just write a mail to me. I'll be addressing your query. So done with today's session. Thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. Whatever the queries you have, just write a mail to cma-inter@icai.in. I'll address your query in a day or two. Don't worry, guys. Work hard, practice, and try to solve the question in writing as much as possible. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. God bless you. See you in the coming session with few more questions and few more chapters. Take care. Edwin, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.